Hey everyone, welcome back to another current household update video of the O'Connor family. You have no idea how much I've been waiting to say those words because when I tell you, I've been playing ins and outs of this family for about 3 months now that I feel a little bit more rejuvenated to get back into recording this family once again, but then also get back into playing The Sims 4 because not gonna lie, I've been not playing The Sims 4 for a while because I've been stressed out, other things have been happening, life has been lifing, but it feels good to get back into the groove of the family that I really love playing with for the past like five years now actually. And so if you haven't seen the previous update videos, I will link them down below in the description. But it's been a while since you've all seen the family, so to give you all a bit of a recap, I've gone ahead and moved the family from Newcrest to San Sequoia, so that way they feel a bit more like a family and are close to other family friends. And they were trying to downsize from a 2-story house to a 1-story house, especially knowing that Angus and Leanna and now Eleanor, who is a new baby in the household, has, immersed into another age group. Eleanor is an infant, and then Angus and Leanna are both toddlers. And I've been wanting to actually age them up for a while now, but I've been mostly waiting to complete their skills so I can max them out. But then also feel like I'm not ready for them to be a child and then, change everything about them. But eventually I will get there at some point. But I think for now, I want to keep them toddlers, and I just literally renovated their entire house for a toddler or 2 toddlers at least, and especially Eleanor is a infant. I'm not ready to do a whole new thing. But I will say for Apsen, she's been doing so much better mentally, physically, emotionally. She's been doing so much better for herself. Her and Jack are still, they're not married yet, but they're fiancés, and they want to get married eventually at some point, but they're not really in the right mindset to really do that because they are, new house, new bills, court legal things are happening with Aspen's father, and she just has a lot going on that she's not really ready. And she's never really been married, to be fully honest, but she's gotten close to being married to Sergio Romeo. And I will say she's kind of not hurt, but she's kind of scared that if she gets married, she'll lose her loved one again, if that makes sense. So right now they have really no confirmed attraction to each other, but they're doing life, soulmates. They have a wholesome romantic dynamic, amazing compatibility, and they're engaged. So they've been engaged for quite some time, especially for the past, let's say, because the thing is Angus and Leanna are like twins, and I have this age assignment mod by Sims World. Jack and Aspen have been married or have been engaged for about 3 years now, which is normal. No one's ever really ready to get married and tie the knot because they don't know what life is going to bring them while they're engaged or while they're dating. And so Jack, on the other hand, he is currently at the age of 53 years old, and Aspen, she is currently sitting at the age of 46 years old. And it's just so nice to know she's growing up, becoming her own person, and just having a good old fashionable, loving time that I think once Winston goes off into college, we'll eventually have the wedding at some point soon. I'm gonna send him alone. Oh, and speaking of Winston, he is actually having the best time being a full-fledged teenager. I need to actually have him graduate high school at some point, because it is going to be the fall season very soon, but he's going through summer school right now just to kind of get some extra credits, making sure that he's all set and ready to go for university. And so he is at the ripe old age of 19 years old, and he's very independent. He's always welcoming. He's very frugal. He's a morning sim, but he has a hard time committing to things. He has a mean streak. So he's going through some trials and tribulations, so I'm gonna actually have him just, study hard for a little bit. He did technically fail 1 class during high school, so him going to summer school is not out of the ordinary. And as for okay then. As for Aspen, she is currently sitting at level 10 of her doctor career times 2. And she said she's already had like 2 bonuses already at her career. But since adults technically can't quote unquote retire from their job, I don't want to age her up, but I'm going to have to age her up in order for her to retire and get that pension that she rightly deserves, especially for Jack. He also needs to age up into an elder at some point soon, but we're just gonna wait and see how things go. Also, Jack, can you oh no, okay, good. I'm like, you better be going to work because I don't got time for you to stay here. Aspen has her hands full and she's like going through it right now, but she's on family leave, or she should be. If she's not, I'm gonna actually have her go on family leave or call in sick. Yeah, call in sick. And I think I want to probably give her a new updated hairdo, update her clothing today, because she does have her little she has her little club, the mom club, with Sophia, Dove, Juniper, and Dina. Oh, you don't sound sick. Come to work or you may not have a job. I know they be lying. They be lying. I don't want to go to work. What if I just have her quit her job? Because I've thought about this before, like how I want her to quit her job and then I can give her money ever so often. But like, I'm not really there just yet. Now, the reason why I wanted to go into cast and change Aspen's looks is because I've been deleting a lot of custom content and random mods that I have had in my game since 2014, and it's time for a little bit of a refresh. Aspen's getting a little bit older, a little bit more wiser, I will say. I have been giving her multiple outfits for almost every single outfit category, and I've been trying to downsize, but I want to give her a new downdo. I think she definitely is in that, her mom era. She has 4 kids. She's a little bit stressed out, and sometimes she just doesn't need to have all of the hairdos, all the updos. Just something simple, easy, calm, cool, and collected. And I think I want to go with something like this. This feels more like a mom hair with a little hair clip in the back. And her hair is getting a little bit more grayer, which is very cute. That's a sign of aging for her. She's a little bit nervous of aging and getting older, but I think she's going to naturally, gracefully get better. And she's going to age like fine wine. She does have a relative who lives in Tartosa who owns like this winery nectary business in their home, and they're thriving. And Anthony and his daughter Bianca live in Tartosa, and I want to go visit them at some point, but probably when the kids get a little bit older so we can all travel together. Now, I think I want to probably keep this little outfit here with Aspen for her formal wear for her wedding day. She looking snazzy as ever in her casual, out to party with her girls outfit, which I'm going to keep for sure. Like, I'm loving this do right here. It's giving corporate but fancy. Her wedding dress, though, is this. I'm thinking I might go with this. It's a part of the Chow CC and Serenity CC's wedding collab that they did a while back ago, and I've been loving this collab for a while. And truthfully, I don't know if I want this dress or I like this one a lot. I want to give her a third outfit just because, so we have options. So this could be like her, walking around, chilling out, hanging out with some other people. Or she could go with like a little nice little pantsuit and just walk around in that. Or she can go with something like this. I don't know. There's a lot of options. Sleeveless might be better, but we could do a little bit of something like this. That looks good. We'll take the veil off of her head though, because we don't really need that right now. So I'm gonna take the veil off of her head, and then I'm gonna give her a nice new hairdo. I've been struggling because I have too much CC, which is never a bad thing. I'm slowly but surely curating, what do I want to keep? What do I want to delete? And the problem is I don't want to delete anything. So I'm still going through it. My friend Ocean Sims has been recently deleting a lot of her CC out of her game. And it's been kind of an inspiration because she called me out one time and I'm like, Ocean, come on. I'm sorry. It's just because I have 25 gigabytes of CC and mods. I can delete them at any time. But truthfully though, I do need to delete some stuff that's been in here for about 10 plus years. I think I might go with this hairdo. I like that one a lot. And then I think for a secondary outfit, we're gonna go with the same one just because it's a little bit more easier and doesn't clip too much with the veil. But yeah, she looks very cute, very adorable. I love my Aspen Marie O'Connor. I actually want to have Aspen go all the way over and see her father, who lives in Delso Valley, which is like a hop and a skip away. The way I see it is that San Sequoia and Delso Valley are not that far away, but they are in a way close enough because there's a highway. And in Delso Valley, which is all the way over here, too many worlds in this game, there's another highway that leads. So in a way, it's like it's close, but not close. Think of it as like Delso Valley is Los Angeles or, you know, Santa Monica or San Diego in a way. And San Sequoia is like the suburb of, you know, those areas. So they're close, but not close. It's like a 40-ish minute drive. And of course, Royce lives all the way over here in the Delso elders household with 3 other elders that he took money from, but now has to live with them to, you know, reap what he sows. So literally not even 2 seconds in, once we got here, she immediately got an angry moodlet from being around family, and it makes her angry to be around her father right now. Not only because they have a, you know, an interesting relationship, she literally hates her father. Like, they have a strict family dynamic. She's a repressed child, and, you know, they have a close from happy memories of when she was a kid. But it's like every single time she sees him, it's like nothing I do or say will make me forgive you for what you did. If you go to jail, we lose everything. And not, you know, not your house, but we lose my house. We lose, you know, my sense of self. And it's like, what are your future plans, Dad? Like, Dad, you are not forgivable. I can't forgive you for what you did. Like, what are your future plans? Are you going to, you know, do community service? Are you going to help around the community? Like, are you going to be around in my life, my kids' life, your grandkids' life? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, you know me. I don't really have, you know, set plans or anything, but like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know, honestly, Dad, if the worst thing that could literally happen right now is you go to jail, I lose my house, you lose your house, we lose everything, and I don't want my kids to grow up without a mom like I did, and I don't want to put all this hurt and pain and suffering on Jack and Winston, because I want Winston, I want Angus, Leanna, and even Eleanor to have a happy upbringing. Living with you made my life miserable, and I don't know where I could see myself with you in my life. Like, I want you in my life, but it's like, what can we do? What can we do from here? And like, you know, at this point, I think also too, what Mr. Royce over here is thinking is like, he's hot-headed, sure, but he just has a lot of trouble of committing to things. So I'm just gonna have Aspen, you know, do her little swing on the swing in her father's house so that she can get her mind off of that man-child. But Mr. Royce needs to go over and talk over to Barbara, who I don't know where. Oh, she's over here. I'm like, Barbara O'Connor. We're just gonna kind of hang out with her a little bit because she is honestly so pretty and I love her dearly. I'm gonna ask a secret. No, we're not gonna ask a secret about these two. We don't know any other Sims in this household enough to even grasp a secret to expose, because knowing him, he'll probably eventually expose a scandal at some point of himself, and I want to know what to do with that. So I'm gonna ask about, like, share some ideas. I want to see if Barbara actually has some ideas of what we can probably take with us during our court battle. Because here's the thing, Barbara, she used to be, I think, was a school teacher, but she also had a side with legal things, you know, contracts, judges, things like that. She was like kind of like a consultant. She works on the side as a paralegal, but doesn't really work there like all the time. So she knows the judge. She knows Judge, what was his name? Judge Collins, I think was his name in San Myshuno. So she knows him, but doesn't know him enough to like really sway a conviction or anything. Saying, hey, do you know this, you know, person, Royce O'Connor? Like, hey, can you like not make him go to jail? Like, she can't really like persuade anybody or anything, but she can definitely do her best and see what could possibly happen. But Royce, he's just like one of those people that tries to get his way by manipulating the situation, but doesn't really have the best judgment, if that makes sense. So I decided to take a bit of a detour and move over to Winston's point of view here in Brindleton Bay, so that way he can meet his band for a change before he graduates summer school tomorrow and his birthday on Saturday. But I felt like it was time for Winston to have a new sense of, environment, self-awareness of like who he wants to be in the future, and also hang out with the people that he's going to be in a band with for the next several years, hopefully the next several years, because Victoria Stern, who is actually the drummer of the band, has an uncle who lives in San Myshuno, where she was the one that signed to his record label without Quinn and Winston knowing. Now, the problem is that Victoria's uncle is a sleazy, good-for-nothing music producer who manipulates every single situation known to man, that Winston and Quinn doesn't really know what really is going down behind the scenes. And so this could lead into some weird and angry resentment towards everyone across the board, that one of them or all of them might go solo. For right now, things are pretty okay. They have not gone on tour just yet, but eventually they will. But Victoria is the drummer of the band, and then we have Quinn Rentira, who is the guitarist of the band, and he actually is good friends with Victoria. They've been best friends since high school, and Winston, who is the singer / other guitarist of the band, doesn't really know everything about the music business and only found out about High Fidelity through a social media ad online. And it was like, you know what? My father was a musician. I want to be a musician. He had a little band going on when he was like my age. I might as well follow in his footsteps. So he looked at the first ad that he saw and signed up immediately, wowed Quinn and Victoria right off the spot. And they've been a band for a couple of months now, and they've gotten very close. They haven't really gone on any gigs just yet, but hopefully at some point soon they will. I am working on building a few little venues for them to go to while they're, in their fresh new era, get their name out there and kind of just see where things go. But I will say Winston has already designed, or I guess technically recorded, several songs already solo wise, but he hasn't really had a chance to record any songs with his band because they've mostly been in the kind of planning out recording stage, but hasn't really finalized on what should go on their first EP. And I'm thinking that we're going to have to discuss different songwriting techniques because they're still trying to figure out what their sound is. Winston has more of a poppy rock R&B tone to him, whereas Quinn and Victoria have more of like a pop tone, but with a bit of a rock tone as well. And they want to go very heavy in the rock, but Winston doesn't really know if he really wants to go towards that. He has a very good mentor who lives in San Myshuno that we've already met, Slim Bulger, who is a very well-known music producer, artist, traveled around the world, and his family, the Bulger family in San Myshuno, are very well known. And so he probably is going to go and figure out if he can get some songwriting techniques, some songwriting mentoring from him before they lead into their first EP, and probably kind of get his opinion on the sound and what he thinks, because he knows more than Winston and he knows more than everybody else at this point. But for now, I don't know. I think Winston's just trying to play it by ear and hope for the best that things will kind of fall into his lap, but in a good way. Alrighty, so it's a couple hours later and we just got a phone call from Knox Greenberg, who is an art teacher at the high school in Copperdale, who just told us that we have outstanding grades and we are eligible to graduate early, which is great because we were like right on the cusp of not graduating, to the point where we had to stay in school for a whole other semester. And I'm like, no, thank you, but we're gonna graduate early today. Okay, cool. So Winston has officially graduated early from high school, and he's shown such promise in his academics and extracurriculars, which he had none, but he has earned a diploma while still being a teenager. Graduating early means that Winston Jordan may begin a career earlier and get a head start for a professional growth if he chooses so, which is great. Oh my gosh. And he also brought over his boyfriend, Atlas Michelson, who looks dashing as ever. And I also want him to graduate early, but just not just yet. But it is the summer season and we are doing well for ourselves today. And now he feels so much happier from great improvement, feeling great from high needs. He believes in himself, but he is feeling a little bit sad because of high school. And he has clean clothes. So this was all in good fun. He's officially graduated early. He feels happy, calm, cool, and collected. He's still a teenager, but he does have time to do some other extra stuff. So with that being said, Winston Jordan official high school diploma will arrive in the mail. Once you retrieve it, the diploma will be added to the household inventory, framed and ready to be displayed proudly. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You know what? We're gonna go over here to Atlas Michelson because I would love to go over here and let's do a little flirtation. We're gonna blow a kiss and then we're also going to go over here. And I think, you know what? We should probably take a nice little photo together too. Yeah, let's take a nice little photo together because I think it'd be very nice to have it on our wall, especially when we go to university at some point soon, the next couple of days. Like, I kid you not, Winston and Atlas look really, really good together that I'm hoping that they will last for an actual lifetime. Like, they're so cute together. I'm obsessed with them. I do want to give Atlas another makeover at some point because, you know, he's growing up. He's gonna be in university very soon. We need a little something. Plus, I think at this point, he's already probably grown out his hair a little bit more. I think we'll do something a little bit more flirty. Oh, that's so cute. I want to have stuff to add to our wall when we're in our dorm. Might do a little goofy one. Okay, there we go. There is a goofy one. That's what I want. But yeah, I want them to last a lifetime where they will never get separated no matter how long or how far they are apart from each other. Whether, you know, Winston's off on tour or Atlas is off on doing some type of like science or experiment and like leaving, you know, Brightchester to go to Windenburg or Sulani or whatever it might be. Because Atlas wants to be a marine biologist is the thing. And Winston, he just wants to be a musician and make music for a living. So I'm hoping that they'll see eye to eye in their decisions, that it wouldn't like tear apart their relationship, but only strengthen it to be much better and bigger. I don't know if Atlas will move to Sulani to become a marine biologist or some type of like environmentalist at some point. I just don't know, but I do want them to live together at some point. I have thought about actually having Atlas and Winston living together, most likely their sophomore year or their junior year of university, because living in the dorms, it can get a little bit cramped and you feel very restrictive on everything that I'm not entirely too sure things will pan out well if they continue to live in the dorms the next 4 years. But we're gonna go tell our mom, Winston, well, go over to Miss Apsen, because I want to tell her all the good news, saying, I just graduated early, Mom. Like, oh my gosh. We're gonna share some baby photos because your little boy is all grown up and everything. Cause I don't know, I kid you not, I have seen Winston since he was a literal baby. Like when he was birthed into my game, I have been playing with them for that long. And it just feels so surreal to know that I got to really influence Winston's childhood from the get-go without anything. It's like your baby boy's all grown up and graduated early. We're going off into university very soon. And I just feel very, very, very happy. So we're going to discuss healthy relationships while I have Mr. Jack over here make a nice little birthday cake for Winston because I want to age him up immediately so that way he can be a young adult, live his best life. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I don't know if you have to be a young adult in order to do, oh no, you don't. There it is. We're going to apply for some scholarships real quick. I was like, I don't think you have to be a teenager or a young adult to like apply for university or anything. But now that we have a diploma and it'll be coming back in the next couple of days, we are going to just apply for everything. We applied for Future Star and Friend of Animals already. I think it would be helpful for us to possibly have the food and drink one and the workforce scholarship too, just to see if we can apply for those and kind of get them out the way, because I'm not trying to fork out a lot of money or take out any loans. Even though we have 251,000 simoleons, I don't want to break the the bank just yet, at least. And then we're going to also apply for Brightchester University and then wait a couple more days until we kind of get things all settled. But with all that being said, I'm going to end off this update here for right now. I promise there will be another update happening very soon, and it won't take me too long to publish the next one. What I can guarantee you the next one we'll have is the wedding day of Jack and Aspen O'Connor officially getting married, to hopefully then having, with Royce not going to jail and Mr. Winston going off into university for his music degree, and hopefully things pan out very well for everyone across the household. But as always, my friends, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!